Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody. Thank you for being here on this wonderful session on Do Work. We welcome Mariam and the team, the Do Work team. They're all not on the stage, but they're all present. So please feel free to fire any question about Do Work. Before I give the stage to Mariam, I've been using Do Work for a few weeks now. I've really found it interesting. Between this tool and other various other project management tools that has been coming up in LTD and other things that I've seen, one specific area that all the tools are missed is estimation. And those of you who have worked in software projects know how important estimation is. And at the same time, bulk of the mistakes happen only in estimation. Because if we mess up our estimation and the entire project delivery goes for a toss, including your profitability, and then you burn out your people, so on and so forth. But somehow, a lot of project management only deals about what you do after you estimate in terms of tracking, etc. But I was always searching for a tool which can help me in estimation, and this tool really, sorted out that particular issue. And in fact, it has been thought out very well in terms of what are all the difficulties that will arise when it is during estimation phase. And because I've taken classes on estimation, so there are two very important things when you talk about estimation. When you do estimation, one is the subjectivity. Based on who is doing the estimate. I may be an expert. I will probably put less hours, but the one who is doing could be less experienced, or will not have that much expertise. They may take more time. And the second thing is, unless and until you learn from your past data, your estimates will always not be right. For example, many times we estimate and then we track it for some other purpose. We don't correlate it with the estimate. So I think this tool does all these things. I've been really happy using this tool, and the team also has been extremely supportive in terms of whatever feedback that I've been giving, and the kind of response that we've been getting. And there's been a lot of confusion that has been there going on in various groups in terms of understanding this particular tool. Though I've tried my best to educate few people, I think the best people would be the developers themselves. And I think we can't get any other better person than Mariam, who's the product owner, product manager at Dowork. Without much ado, over to you, Mariam. I'll keep talking about Dowork and my experience, but I think it's better that you speak about it so that people understand this product well and use it in the right way.
Thanks a lot for your feedback. You described the product very well. So, first of all, I want to say that we've been launched on AppSumo, and our deal is $39. So you can purchase it and test the product. We very appreciate your feedback, and based on your feedback, we are going to improve our product. So let me share my screen and briefly describe you how the product works. Okay, you can see my screen, right?
Mariam, before we jump into this product, if I can ask you, again, I want to go back to what I started off with. There are so many tools that are there in the market which probably does something similar, to what you people are doing. And what do you think is one big problem that your application will solve? Or why was there a need for you to think about such a product to be developed and to be sold? If you can just give a little background, and it would be nice before we jump into the product.
Yeah, sure. As everyone knows, project management has four life cycles, four phases, that is initiating, planning, executing, and closing. So we're covering planning phase. So whenever you do break down your scope, you estimate them, you plan your resources, your staffing, and whenever you are done with all your scope breakdown, you're going to share it with your key stakeholders, with your clients. So for you to get more accurate estimates, we have developed an AI algorithm So for you to be able to use your prior project tasks, and in this way you have more accurate estimates and you manage to complete your project due date.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to get connected with Jira, estimate your tasks in Doworkai and connected with Jira or with other project management tools that you're using. So we're concentrated on estimation part, which I'll go in details on. So,
Okay.
and our plan is to become intelligent high-level platform for executives so they can get track of all the projects and see the project status on a high-level basis, not to go in detail. And whenever they do see that something is going wrong, they can go details and see what's up there.
Okay. In fact, I really like the summary on top. If you just see that is good enough for me to see what is the status of the project, and I mean, if need be, I can probably go to the timelines and
Yes.
all those things. And in fact, I must compliment the UI as well in terms of putting all the pieces together. It was very self-intuitive.
Yeah, we'll have the module soon. So do you have any other questions, general ones, or I should proceed with the demo?
Yeah, please go ahead with it.
Okay. So I've created a project in Doworkai and broken down some tasks. So as every project has authentication and authorization part, which supposes to have login, sign up, forgot password, and etc. So I've created get notification via Telegram, search the web. So you can pretty much enter whatever task you have in your scope. Doworkai uses 3-point estimation technique that supposes to have three numbers. So one is optimistic, second most likely, and pessimistic. In optimistic case, for example, get notification via Telegram, it will take 1 week and 5 hours to complete. In most likely 1 week and 6 hours, and 1 week 7 hours. That's how you will be able to give the numbers to. So whenever you place those 3 points, automatically the system will calculate the average, low, and high estimates based on the three numbers. And above, you can choose which estimation you will go ahead with. So in that case, I've chosen high. You can choose to go ahead average, and you will see that the average column is being highlighted. So the estimated column will be based on the estimation type you have chosen already over here. For creating task, you just can press to the add new item, choose whether you want to create a group or task, and type the task. For example, let's have plus one. Let's give numbers 2, 5, and 7. And submit changes and assign.
Okay.
So you're able to invite your team members for them to collaboratively estimate your tasks. For that, you just need to press the invite a user button and mention the email you want to invite to. You need to set your permission, so you want the user to be able to delete other tasks or not, and manage resources, stuffing. You just turn it on and off, and send the invitation. So the user will get an invitation, and whenever he or she accepts it, the pending will change to active. So the user will be able to enter to the platform, give his number, and you will be able to choose in this popover which estimation you want to go ahead with. If I have estimated one within 5 hours, someone else might have been estimated 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So, and the system automatically calculates the average one. So if in case you have already 10 estimates and you want to go ahead with average, you can choose and save it.
So this would be the average of probably number of estimate. The effort put by all the estimators, right?
Yes. For example,
Okay.
if you have entered to the platform and estimated this task,
Understood.
whenever I press to assign estimation, I'll see all the estimators, all the users that have estimated a task.
Got it. Got it.
Okay. Then you can see here the timeline, the Gantt chart.
Yeah.
You can auto reorder it. Let's suppose you want to start the project from 25 of August, and you just press OK, and your tasks will be ordered starting from that date.
Okay.
So
And
whenever
it's a
you
silly
do press
question,
it,
but we have already mentioned that Saturdays and Sundays are off days. So the effort will not be there, right?
you can see it highlighted Saturday
Okay.
and
Fair.
Sunday. And by the way, you can go to project settings and mention which days you're off project-wise. So I will come to the project settings a bit later. Whenever you have broken down your scope, you already know which task you need to implement. You just need to go to your staffing page and see what's your members of the project. For example, if you have 5 developers, you have 2 QAs, 1 user experience designer,
Okay.
and 1 project manager. You're setting the capacity per day, so how long are they going to work on the project per day? Example, UX might have been working 4 hours a day, and whenever you see it, save it. Whenever you do assign it to a task, you will see that in the timeline, everything is based on the capacity. It is not.
So
It will not be calculated 8 hours, but for a day.
okay, Mariam, can I ask the question now itself, or should I wait till the end?
Would you repeat your question, please?
No, here you had mentioned that 5 members dev and capacity per day. Is it total capacity of 5 people, or is it 1 into 5?
1 to 8. One
Okay, so
member,
so
8.
which means that it is 40 hours, right? Is that, I mean, it will calculate as 40 hours.
It means that all the development team that you have will work 8 hours per day. If you do have development group that is working 4 hours per day, you can just add another discipline, name it,
Okay,
and set capacity for hour per day.
okay, fair enough. Okay, let me rephrase my question. Okay, here we will anyway assign this task, rather this dev team to one task in our estimate, right?
You'll be able to assign a task to the dev discipline, which
Yes.
has 5 members in it.
Okay. So
And whenever
if I had estimated the task to be 40 hours, will it take 1 day or 5 days?
whenever you do go to your task, you press to dev, you will see all your members. So this
Okay,
task can implement member 1 and this task member 2.
got it.
And you will see in your timeline
Yes.
that this is member 1 and this is member 2. And you can move it here and you will not get any conflicts over here. Okay.
Got it.
One. Yeah. So if you do have another phase to implement, you can just add it and do break down your scope over here.
Okay.
You can develop the phase, you can import CSV. If you're using Azure DevOps, if you're using Jira, you can import all of your tasks to directly do work. So you can go there, export the task via CSV format and import it over here. You just need to press it, browse it, choose your file,
Okay.
and import it. and you will see all the tasks imported over here. You just can press to it and download the CSV template for you to be able to understand which columns you need to export over Jira and rename the titles, and you're done.
Got it.
So we're able to archive the phase. If you're done with these phase tasks, you just can press to archive and it will not be calculated in the summary.
Okay.
You see that it is, yeah. You have a track mode over here. Let's just move. And whenever you do press to it, you'll be able to change the statuses of the task.
Yeah.
In progress, done. And by the way, you can see that the summary is getting updated immediately after you do change the status. So you're able to configure the statuses. For example, if you do need to have a new status that is blocked, you'll be able to map it to the status you want. We have default ones to do in progress, done, and on hold. If it is blocked, it is not that, I'll put it just in progress and save it. You can reorder it, and whenever you do go to your statuses, that you can see that the blocked status has been added already.
Brilliant.
So let's go to our resources. In case you do have a specific fixed price item you will need to implement in your project, you just can add over here. For example, in my case, I've added SSL certificate, which costs $1,000 and the quantity is 1. And you'll see the summary over here. And whenever you do add a resource, you can see that the cost will be updated in the summary as well. Let's have.
So these are typical one-time costs.
Yes, that you need to buy it. It's fixed price.
That's right.
Yeah. So let's go to our settings. We can choose your default unit, hour or day, the number format, pretty, that means 1 week, 2 days, and 8 hours. If in case day, you will have 11 days, for example. An hour, you can choose a currency, day working hours, the capacity for the whole project, and estimation difference and mean number. What is it? In case you have estimated the tasks and the estimation vary 20%, you need to see whether it has been red or green. That means that you're close enough or not. In case one team member estimated 4 days and the other team member estimated 10 days, you'll see that this field is being red.
Okay.
And that will draw attention to you, and you'll see, okay, here we got some misunderstanding. Let's open it and discuss one more time to see why the team members' estimation is that different.
Okay. So, Mariam, I just have one question. In fact, as you are giving this demo, I am trying to visualize that. So, if I invite another estimator, will they see other estimates or would it be empty?
Whenever you're estimating, for example, let me just change this one, you will see draft and no one can see unless you submit it. You can estimate, draft, and whenever you do submit it, all the team members will be able to see your estimate.
Okay. So if you imagine that, there are 2 people who have already estimated and I'm the third estimator, I'm just coming into the estimation for the first time. So if they have already submitted, are you saying that I'll be able to see the estimate that they have already done?
In case they have submitted it, yes. Usually, you're organizing a meeting, you're doing the grooming session, you're explaining the task to the team member, and all the team members at a time are trying to do the estimates.
Okay. So, one task will be estimated by different people. Okay. Well, see, I was coming from the sense saying that maybe, I want more than one person to estimate the same task, and I don't want them to get biased with each other's estimate, because the moment I see somebody has already put 4 hours, even if I estimate it to be some 8 hours or 10 hours, I may have a doubt saying that have I, am I overthinking, etc. That way, if there is an option where they can't see till I do the estimate, I mean, I'm only thinking aloud. So then we can remove the biases because I will not know what others have thought. Once I submit, then if I'm able to see it, then it would be good. I mean,
That's a good point. But
yeah,
for now, you just can keep it draft and say your team members, okay, tomorrow we'll be submitting all the drafts. And
sure,
everyone can submit it and you'll see all of the estimators.
fair enough.
Great. Let me talk about the overhead buffer. What is it? It is a very common experience to add overhead buffer to the project in case there are some issues during the project, some unknown facts. You can just add it, and your deadline will be changed. So
Yeah,
you can see the estimated column. Okay, let me close it. In case I buffer it, for example, 30% and apply it, you will see that all the numbers are being updated.
okay,
Your summary as well. And it is, that whenever you get a project, there are a lot of unclear parts, so uncertainties. In case the client was not being specific enough, you can add uncertainty as well. So you can have
understood.
1.5, and whenever you save it again, it will be kind of updated in the estimated column.
Understood. These are contingencies.
Yeah, it is common for all of the projects, and you can
Absolutely.
configure your project and use it anytime instead of doing it in Excel sheets.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
these are things I really appreciated from a practitioner standpoint because we typically do this in all the projects, and this is so nice because I can calibrate based on the requirements and all those.
Yeah. And I will demonstrate the summary part as well. So if we go and choose the start date a bit later on, for example, 10, you see that it is being yellow. What
Okay,
that means that the deadline is 36% and the project complete is 20. That's already a signal that the project status is not as supposed to be.
got it.
So every time you can just enter and watch the summary and see whether everything is going all right or not. Another thing is integrations.
Yeah,
You just can go there, press to the plus button. You have plus, add a new account. You need to authorize, and you'll get connected with Jira project. Later, you can come to your project, press to Jira icon as you already done your authorization part. Choose a project you want to get integrated with. Let's choose this one, configure it. Let's connect and export tasks from Doworkai to Jira and vice versa. And
yeah.
you'll be able to synchronize it. So whenever you do change something in Doworkai, it will be updated in Jira as well. So you
Okay,
can map the statuses and issue types and then connect. Let me open the project in Jira. So you see that there are no backlog items here. And whenever I do press to connect, you will see that all the tasks are being exported to Jira.
okay.
Just wait a minute. Let's go until we upload it in the background. So let's have our AI algorithm test. In case I type authorization, you will see that, let's have a look. You will see that the AI suggests tasks that pretty much are the same as your entered one. For that, let's go and create another project. Let's have a test project. Add an item and type authorization. Authentication and authorization. You can view the details of the tasks, see the child links, and apply it. In case you applied the task with all its child items, and the estimations will be migrated to your new project. Whenever you're done with your scope breakdown, your team is already set up, you can go ahead and share the project with your stakeholder. Let's create another link. You can choose to go ahead with via email or just generate a public URL. You need to choose the sections you want to go ahead with: breakdown, staffing, board. Let's suppose that I want to share with my customer all of the sections, and I want to go ahead with estimated column, the discipline, and I don't want to show him the uncertainty or overhead buffer. Let's name it and create a link. You'll be able to copy the link that's pressing to it, and let's open it in a new tab. Here we go. It's already the customer view. Your stakeholders can go to your board, the staffing, resources, whatever you have given access to.
Okay.
And whenever you do change something in your board, let's add another task. You will see that it is updated in the customer view as well. You can manage the statuses in the board, as you have seen.
Yeah.
So whatever statuses you create, it will appear in the board as well, and you just, with drag and drop, you can move the task to whatever status you want to.
Fantastic.
Okay. Do you have any other questions, concerns,
Yeah.
suggestions? Yeah.
The related task is basically a text search. Have I understood it right? So, for example, if you put authorization, it will look at the past this thing in terms of if there is an authorization, if you have used the word authorization, in that. Is that how it does relate? Bring up the related task.
So in each project, you have a defined scope, right? You have things to do. And whenever you get another project, you're doing your scope breakdown, you're entering the title, the system with the help of AI algorithm will try to understand whether you have completed a task related to that one.
Okay.
So based on the content you're entering.
Okay. Okay.
It can be
Fantastic.
paraphrased in the content. You can just keep having authorization word, for example. Everything is handled by AI algorithm. So it is
Okay.
not a matching system.
Okay. How does this do this timeline? When I was trying to do it for one of my project, I had certain doubts. Yeah, how does this do that? This Gantt chart, is it based on the resources that we allocated, staffing, or how is it?
It is based on your estimate and staffing you have assigned to. You remember that we had the one and member two,
Yeah.
right? So you're able to move the items. Let's go to staffing, our board, and assign to other disciplines as well. So I've assigned only the dev. Let's have QA, member one. Let's have UX. Let's have again dev one and dev two. If you go to your timeline and auto reorder it, it will automatically understand how the tasks will be located. So in
Okay.
case you want,
So once I change the allocation, I have to do an auto reorder, is it?
Yes, you can do auto reorder and it will reorder everything. And by the way, but you can do it yourself as well in case
Manually
you
also.
want to start your task, for example, not in 17, but 28 of 20 of September. You
Yeah.
just
How
press
did you
it
get
and
this details, please? I want to see that again. Should I click on that?
yeah, you just double click on it.
Okay.
And by the
Fair
way,
enough.
you have it in the list as well. So whenever you do hover it, you will see an icon here, view details, and you just press it and you'll see the details of the task. So here is the
Brilliant.
description where you can enter the acceptance criteria, the user story, then you will see the status. You can choose over
Yeah.
here, the discipline, and it is the accepted estimation that you have already entered.
Okay.
Again, you here
Fantastic.
can choose the estimator that
Got
you're
it.
going and you can delete it. You can reorder the timeline with drag and drop
Yes. I
and
mean, I actually changed the allocation, but then I was expecting the reorder to happen automatically. Only now I realized that I have to click on auto reorder. What I
yeah.
did is, I allocated it to a different developer and I expected the dates to change, but it didn't change. Now I realize what the mistake is.
If you want to reprioritize it, you just can go and reprioritize the tasks over here and you will see that it has been reprioritized in the timeline as well. Task one. We got it over here already.
So can I set task dependency, Mariam, here? Say, for example, I may have the resources, but something needs to be completed only only then I can do the next task. Is there a task dependency that I can set? Say, for example,
Actually, yeah, we're working on that. It is not ready yet, but it will be
okay,
soon. So you have the task dependencies. Yeah, you'll be able to extend the estimation direct from the timeline.
okay.
And then all the Gantt chart functionality will be ready soon. We're working on
Fantastic.
that.
But having used this application, I just have I mean that task. One is about the task dependency, and second one is tracking. If it can be quantitative as well, that will be very nice because that will make my estimation more mature. For example, your authentication authorization. If I've estimated it to be like 3 days, and if on actual if I've taken 4 days, if there is a way that I can bring that also in the system. That would be very helpful when I do my future estimates.
Sure, we'll have actual log as well. So you'll be able to go to your task and log the hours that you've worked. And next
Yeah,
time, whenever you do complete that task, it will suggest with the actual hours that you have completed.
exactly.
That
I mean, at
feature
least
is in progress as well.
fantastic. And the other thing that I see that we can share the estimate in blocks, in whatever information or using public URL and all those things. But are you guys also planning to give us an export out of this system? Because sometimes I'm more comfortable sharing an Excel sheet or what a Google sheet or whatsoever it may be. Just generate a Gantt chart and give it to my customers without giving them access to this system. Is that there in your roadmap? Because I mean, I really struggled sharing. Sharing this application was very easy the moment I knew how it can be done. But somehow there is a reluctance for me to share this because I would want to share only the relevant information, particularly as an Excel sheet or something like that. Or probably I can even do some other analysis with that output as well. Is that there in your roadmap? Like how you are allowing us to import, would you also allow us to export the data out of this?
Yeah, sure. We will have it in our roadmap, but for now, as we do have share option it and it's very comfortable, we have decided to go on with it. Because whenever you do understand that you have shared a section that you were not supposed to, you can just switch it off and the customer will not see it anymore. But in case you do send an email, that's it. You're done. You can't change anything. So
Okay.
that's the competitive advantage of this feature. But
And
sure, in the roadmap, we'll have an export option as well.
sure. And one last question, which typically all the LTD people would want to have is, is there any plans of giving a CNAME, access with our own domain? Because sometimes, we don't want to share, do work, or, we would want to have all the data in our domain. So is CNAME in the roadmap? Are you planning to offer it as part of the LTD? Are there any plans of that?
So again, we're talking about the export.
No. Having it in our own domain, custom domain.
Yeah, I see. So we'll have white labeling, so you'll be able to share it with your customer already with your information. So you'll have your logo, your URL, and etc. So it'll be the customer will never guess that it wasn't work.
Okay, fantastic. But anyway, I'm not going to hold you for this, but we just need some clarification for the CNAME, because sometimes it may get what we are asking and what probably you're giving could be two different things, and there's a lot of confusion over this feature alone. So I'm just registering saying that would you be offering CNAME feature as well. So I think that is all my questions. Let me see. Okay, there is one question from Shijor who's asked, can there be overlapping tasks? I don't. Can there be overlapping tasks?
I didn't get it. Okay. Overlapping of the task. In the timeline, you will see a conflict. Whenever you do have a task assigned to one member at a time, you will see that it is being read. We can't have a task assigned to one developer at a time. So
Okay.
the developer will not be able to complete both tasks on time simultaneously. So that's the idea. But in case you assign the dev one task and the second task to dev two, in that case you can go ahead with the simultaneous task as well.
Okay. Fantastic. So let me see the other Facebook groups if there are any other questions.
I don't think there's any questions. We've had some nice comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm looking forward for your feedback. You can just enter to the platform and try to test it.
Okay, Aditya has asked, I did not quite get it. Is the overhead buffer on a per project basis on all projects? I assume it is per project, right? The overhead buffer is per project. We can have one number for each project. Is that right?
Yes, the overhead buffer is for a project. So overall the project we can buffer. And you can buffer the discipline as well in case you want to buffer only developers or QA team. In that case, you can just buffer the developer. You can find it in the staffing page.
Okay, fair enough. So I think those are the questions in both the groups and here as well. So okay, so probably one sales pitch, Mariam, in terms of why we should not miss do work.
Well, you shouldn't. There are a lot of features coming. Well, you can see down in our roadmap, you'll be able to handle your change requests and the organizational chart with a financial flow directly into work. So there are a lot of surprises waiting you. You better try it now because the lifetime deal will not end forever.
So for someone like me, I'm not very technical at all. So when it comes to these products, and this product, it seems to have a bit of a learning curve. It's always best to have some kind of like trainings available. So do you have like a website or a YouTube channel where you have short tutorials of how to do certain tasks or certain things, which makes it a lot easier? Or is that something that's planned?
We do have tutorials.
Okay.
I can share the link with you, and you can find articles in our blog section. You can find it in the landing page. And we're planning to have documentation as well.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, whenever we do have it, I will share it with you as well.
Okay. And did you want to discuss the current deal? I think it's $89 on AppSumo.
Yeah.
Can it be stacked, or is it just the one code? Let's.
You can buy multiple codes for you to create different organizations within your user. So you're able to have not only one organization. You can
Okay, so
create several ones, and you can apply the optional course to several organizations.
okay, so
Within organization, you can apply two optimal codes that will enlarge the seats. We have 20 estimators within organization, but if you try to apply two optimal code, you will have 40 seats.
Okay, makes sense. So 40 seats, and then if we apply 3 codes, it'll be
60 estimators.
Yeah.
60 estimators.
yeah with the okay, I got that.
See, 60 estimators. I think
Nice.
in one organization, right? So if
Yes,
you want to have different organization, then we have to redeem code in different accounts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not different accounts. Let me show you.
Can you link the accounts?
You are allowed to
Yes,
stack. I saw the option to stack codes as well.
You see, right? You can go to workspaces and create several workspaces. It is my
Nice.
invited and all workspaces.
Okay.
Nice.
You just go to exactly workspace, and you're able to decide which project, how many members will have.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It's interesting because it's actually a different product. Because on AppSumo or other other selling platforms now, you just get the same product, which has just been recycled and differently branded or stuff like that. So this is a fresher breath here. When Venki first approached me to say, "Come on, let's do this Dowork," I said, "I don't mind, but I don't know what it does." So thank you for the clarity today. I've spoken to Raz a couple of times on Facebook, so via Messenger. He seems like a stand-up guy. So I wish you guys well. I hope the product does well. I didn't want to spend any money this week, but I will pick up a code just to test it out. Hopefully, it's not too technical for me. If it is, I'll use your knowledge base or your YouTube videos, and I'll give it a go. Yeah.
Actually, it is not too technical because marketing teams, construction, everyone can use the platform. So you don't need to have a development team for you to estimate the task. In case, for example, you need to build a building, you have specific tasks over there, and each task has an estimate approximate.
Okay, nice. I think it's just one of those products where you need to play with it to find out exactly what it does.
Yes.
Because I think it's got a lot more functionality than what we can see from the offset. So the more you play with it, the more you understand its features, and then you can utilize them in a better manner, I suppose.
See, from a functionality standpoint, Omar, I don't think there is, many things, but they solve one problem very well. That's what I like about Dowork. And probably, instead of Dowork, has it been Do Estimate, probably it would have resonated much better with, with the community. But the moment it Dowork, we kind of, started associating. See, we are comparing it with project management tools. Actually, this is one step ahead of that, rather before that. Sorry?
For now, we're trying to integrate with the PM tool, so you can handle the estimation part in Dowork.ai, and if you do want, you can continue in Dowork.ai, so you can have all the cycle in Dowork. But if you do have a project management tool that you want to integrate to, you will be able.
Yeah, in fact, that is one suggestion that I wanted to give. I'm sure you guys would have done enough research. Rather than trying to make it a full-blown project management team, give integration with various project management teams, time tracking tools and all those, but do the estimation module very well, because that's a space where I don't think there is any great competition, but the moment you get into project management, you will be evaluated more on that. Concentrate on, I'm sure you guys would have done enough market research from an end user perspective. I'm talking about, because you are solving this estimation problem very well. I know that this product is in development. I'm sure that there are other features that are coming up, and I could see a big difference between how it was 15 days back and today. But my humble suggestion is, do the estimation part very well and give me a lot of integration, exports, integration, bringing in my time tracking tool with timesheets and all those, because the moment you end up building all the other things, the core will get lost.
So soon we'll have public integration, so you'll be able to connect with over 700 products. So that problem will be solved soon.
Yeah, that's nice. But everybody seems to give Pabbly integration, and I don't have Pabbly yet.
I have Pablo, so
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
sorted. I'm sorted on
I'm
that.
now compelled to buy, because every other product says that we'll give Pabbly integration.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, though. Yeah, the product it's like in a niche in itself. So it's better to focus on something that you're very, very good at, rather than trying to do everything and be good. Be not so very good, if that makes sense. So yeah, focus on what you're doing well, do it better, and just integrate with the other platforms for the.
And Omar, we have both the CEO and CTO of Dowork in the session.
Does he want to come on?
Mushegh and Rasmik, would you guys want to come on stage?
What are they? Yeah.
He's coming.
Yep. Have you accepted? Yeah. I think Razmik is coming as well. Okay.
Hello.
Hey guy, what's going on?
Good. Thanks for bringing us here.
Thank you, Mushegh. Is that how?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
So I like your last comment regarding the competition and the landscape. I absolutely agree that. So the project management market is very crowded, and there are very good players, definitely. Especially like, for example, if it's agile management, then Jira probably is the best one. If you are more like Kanban or not so technical, maybe you can go with Asana or ClickUp or other platforms. And we are mainly focused on the estimation part. And as you mentioned, we are going to integrate to for example, the good examples will be time tracking platforms, so you can track your time, and the time will be analyzed and reused in Dowork for further estimations. For now, we have that functionality with Jira. So if you log your hours in Jira, we can take these hours and show you difference. But obviously, time tracking tools are also good option to be integrated. So not everyone use Jira, or even they use Jira as a task management, but not as a time tracking, right? True. So that's why that's on our roadmap. And
or just give us imports, CSV import, Excel, because you can't integrate with all the applications. But even if you give us a import, like how you are giving for the WBS, that will still be good for us, because estimate is something that we will do it for the proposal, and after that we forget it. And next time we come to estimate is when we get the next project. And that time, if I can just take my data from the completed project and put it in your application and do analysis in terms of where all I have messed up in terms of the estimation, that would be a good learning for me when I do my next estimation. So
CSV import is there. You can import now. Probably I joined a little bit late. I'm not sure Mariam showed the CSV import, but you asked about the expert. Yeah, it's on our roadmap.
Okay, fine. So again, best wishes. In fact, I love the product. I'm really happy, because this is one of my favorite subjects, and many project management tools have not touched this, and that's why I really wanted this tool to really do well, because it can really be a very, very great tool for many software teams which are trying to make proposals. And then, as I told you, we kind of lose the estimate once proposal is done. And then actuals are more done on a project basis. We never track it back to the estimate. So that way, you're solving a very nice problem. I'm thrilled that in fact, I came across Dowork only by chance. I just had some credits. I thought, let me try this. Instead of just being it as credit, or if it is bad, let me get a refund. But I was thrilled the moment I saw that. And particularly, I was very happy the kind of response that I've been getting, be it Raz or Mariam, the kind of support that I've been getting is phenomenal. And the way that the last 15 days or 1 month, the way that you guys have given new features, and that is also, the pace is really nice. I believe that this is a pace that we can expect always, because once you set an impression with us, it remains with us forever. So the initial impression has been really good, particularly my experience having used this tool. And tomorrow I'm probably submitting the first proposal with an estimate that I did out of Dowork.
Wow, that's the best feedback we can hear when we see that our users really use to gain a new project.
Yeah, that is where I've been asked to share it as an Excel sheet, and now I'm redoing everything in an Excel sheet. But that's fine, because I will allow you guys are also maturing the application, so I'm not going to blame you for that. But definitely, I'm really gaga over this.
Yeah, I think we prioritize expert functionality, to be honest, because we are also building the templating functionality. So you can create templates for you. For now, as a workaround, you can create these templates in CS and import every time you start a new project. But we also creating the templating feature, so you can save your project as template and use. But the other important thing we want to do is we want to provide templates from the community. So we are going to have a GitHub repository, so everyone from our community can contribute, and we can build templates together.
In fact, that was one of the question I forgot to ask, actually. Can you, probably if it is, say, mobile app, probably, these are the 20 things that really need to be there. Some, if you can give us some templates like that, we will be able to easily build on that, actually. So I'm happy to hear that, you guys are also going to offer that template in the near future.
Yeah. Awesome. And by the way, regarding the release, we just try to make it like in a bi-weekly basis. So it's like 2 to 3 week release cycle. So I hope that you will see way more features under the LTD because the LTD is tied to our Pro plan, and everything which will be in Pro, it will also be available for the LTD.
Nice touch. I'm just going to say it's extremely rare to have a good product and to have a good team behind the product. So, kudos to you guys for coming on today, speaking to everybody, explaining the product. And it seems like Venki has explained, support is really on the ball. So if there are any issues, they seem to be resolving them, as soon as possible. So yeah, kudos to you guys for that, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. We don't have formal support team. We all are involved in support. So everybody is in intercom, and that's our kind of culture that we all should know our users. That's the reason we want to know our users and the problems.
Yeah, I've spoken to Raz briefly, and he seems like a stand-up guy. So yeah, nice.
But Omar, which Raz? There seem to be 2 Razes.
Yeah, Raz Yan. So
we have 2. Actually, the full name is Razmik, so we have 2 Razmiks. One Razmik is our CTO, and the other Razmik is our SEO specialist, and now he's also taking over the digital marketing, like
the Razmik
Facebook groups, and you spoke with SEO. The SEO Razmik,
I think I spoke to the CTO Razmik.
Okay. Nice.
Okay. So I think I mean, there are no other questions. So once again, we wish you a very great launch in AppSumo, and whatever targets that you set for yourself. I hope that you get that, and make sure that you build an amazing tool which we will keep using.
I was going to briefly ask, sorry, do you have any plans to have a dedicated Facebook group for the product, or?
Most probably, like it depends on the demand. I see that more and more like LTD products have groups, so probably we'll end up having our own one. I will be happy to have one if there is really a demand for the team. And I think templating future can be a good kind of kickoff, because in this group we can discuss the templates, all possible project types, and so on, and also the product features, obviously. But we want to build that community around Dowork, and we believe that it will be very beneficial for all of us, because we can share.
Absolutely.
Sharing is caring, right? So
in fact, count me in, because I can offer you quite a few templates. You could see the amount of gray hairs that I've got. I've done many wrong estimates in my life, so I do have enough templates that I'll be very glad to share it with you people.
Yeah. Perfect. In a long-term project, we want to build industry benchmarks, so that's why we want to build the community, so we can also get, like, you can estimate and compare your estimation with industry to know, like, are you overestimating or under? It's like 50 surveys for salaries, right? So you want to know where you are, and so we are on this way.
Yeah, having a Facebook group sometimes is easier for support as well, because if somebody has a query or a question, they just post it in the Facebook group, and actually a member of that group will answer the question rather than a support personnel from Dowork. Yeah,
we are getting questions on Facebook, so not only on our internal chat. So I think that's a good idea. Yeah, we will discuss it.
Happy days. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on and spending your time and explaining this product. Hopefully people go out and have a look at it and, make some purchases.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mariam.
Thank you, Mariam.
And thank you, Mushegh, for being with us. And thank you, the rest of the Dowork team and other people. I hope you got all the questions answered. And if there are any more, please do comment under the live video in both the Bring Again group and the Alston's group, and I'm sure the Dowork team would be very glad to answer all those questions.
Yeah, and just to note that a recording of this will be available on Alston's YouTube channel as well.